Everyone thought Google was about to pull the trigger on the Pixel 10a way earlier than usual, like February in your hands early. Turns out, that rumor is only half true. The Pixel 10a is coming early, just not that early. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. And honestly, that detail matters more than it sounds. After the messy Pixel 9a rollout last year, late announcement, delayed availability, and a lot of confused buyers, Google clearly wants to get ahead of the narrative this time. According to one of the most reliable leakers in the business, Evan Blass, Google is lining up the Pixel 10a for a noticeably earlier release window, but not the aggressive mid-February launch that started circulating recently. Instead, the more realistic timeline looks like this: pre-orders kicking off in late February, with the phone actually hitting stores in the first week of March. That might sound like a small shift, but in Pixel terms, it's a big deal. Last year, the Pixel 9a was announced on March 19th and didn't really become widely available until nearly a month later. That delay alone pushed some buyers straight into the arms of Samsung and nothing. So even a few weeks shaved off the schedule signals that Google is trying to fix one of its biggest mid-range problems: timing. What's interesting is how this contradicts earlier leaks. Just days ago, we heard claims of a mid-February retail release, with one rumor even floating a February 17th launch date. Evan Blass essentially poured cold water on that, saying those reports were only sorta true. In other words, Google is moving faster, just not recklessly fast. And that actually makes sense. Nothing about the Pixel 10a launch appears fully locked in yet. There's no confirmed announcement date, but history suggests Google will reveal the phone right around the pre-order window. So if late February is the target, expect the official unveiling to land right there too. The good news? Even this slightly slower early launch is still a win. A March release is dramatically better than what Pixel fans dealt with last year, and assuming nothing goes wrong at the last minute, Google finally gets a clean shot at the mid-range market before it gets crowded. Now here's where things get more interesting. Despite leaked renders showing a design that looks almost identical to the Pixel 9a, the Pixel 10a could quietly become one of Google's strongest value phones yet, mainly because of pricing. While most smartphone brands are raising prices in 2026, the Pixel 10a is rumored to do the opposite. European leaks suggest a starting price of €500 instead of 550, with the 256GB version coming in at €600 instead of 650. None of that is confirmed, but if it holds, that's a rare price drop in a market that's been moving in the opposite direction for years. In the US, that could translate to a starting price around $450, down from the Pixel 9a's typical $500. And at that price, the spec sheet suddenly looks a lot more attractive than people are giving it credit for. We're talking about a 6.3-inch display, Google's Tensor G4 chip, 8 GB of RAM, and a massive 5,100 mAh battery, all in a compactish phone that doesn't try to reinvent itself. Yes, the Pixel 10a is expected to keep most of the same specs as the 9a. Yes, the design barely changes, but that's kind of the point. Google isn't chasing excitement here, it's chasing reliability and value. And if Google really does deliver this phone earlier, cheaper, and without supply issues, that alone could make it a quiet hit. As for what this means going forward, don't expect the same early treatment for the Pixel 11 lineup. Google already moved its flagship schedule from October to August back in 2024, and that seems locked in now. The Pixel 11 family will almost certainly debut in August 2026, even if leaks start flooding in much sooner. So the takeaway is simple. The Pixel 10a isn't launching as early as some rumors claimed, but it is launching early enough to matter. And if Google pairs that timing with a lower price and solid fundamentals, this might be one of the smartest Pixel launches we've seen in years, even if it doesn't look exciting at first glance. Sometimes, boring done right is exactly what wins. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.